Guys, it's Sarah here with Grassroots Evolution on November 15th, 2018, and I'm back to do the healing process for the video on asking for what we want. So, I do apologize for the darkness. Hopefully you're still able to watch it. But what we're here to do for this portion is work on healing the blocks and any shame that we may have had in the past for asking for what we want and feeling confident to be able to do that. And also, this is also coming from a place of wholeness, okay? Knowing what our wants are, knowing what our needs are, and boldly pushing forward, okay? So, we're about to do the healing process of number 22 and discernment. 22 is also a master number. So, like 11, when we get 22, we wouldn't deduce it down. We would just keep it as 22. It's a duplicate, okay? So, what I'm inviting you to do now, if you wanted to bring in the crystals that you had for the first one, any tea, anything warm, cozy, you know, any sort of special object that you may want to bring into this healing, or you could just take your shoes off right now, okay? And what we're going to do before we read this out is I just want to take 3 deep breaths in, much like we did in the last video, and breathing in love and universal light, from white light from our crown, and imagining, you know, or our breath space, imagining our heart just filled up with love, okay? Bringing in that universal energy. And then we're going to breathe out anything negative, inauthentic, or something that has caused us shame, okay? For just one moment. Okay, I'm back. So let's take the first one in. And as you do this, spread your feet apart. Ground them into the ground. Spread out your roots. I know. And this time while you're doing it, give yourself a great big hug. And release. Okay, so hopefully you guys have felt centered where you are. I do again apologize, it's so dark. But what I'm going to do is read to you the healing process out of the Crystal Mandala Oracle book. And what I'd like you to do is you can repeat after me to bring these affirmations into your conscious choice making, is the way I'm going to, or action space, okay? So if you don't want to repeat after me, that's fine. You can set your intentions that I'm have me speak for you in this instance and receive any healing that you can that way. I just ask that you keep a really open mind and an open heart while we do these, because our thoughts kind of create a reality, and if we're off the hop thinking, like in our card stated in the last video, that this isn't going to work, well, there's a self-fulfilling prophecy in that. So let's just keep an open mind, okay, while we do this. So, to call upon the mortal guidance here, it says, I call upon the crystal angel of green chrysoprase and ascended master Hilarion, who love me unconditionally. Thank you for the divine healing blessing of discernment. May I open my perception, detached and neutral, to discern the truth in all people, situations, and events. May I be blessed with the knowledge of what is true and what to do. My discernment brings me inner security, empowerment, and confidence to trust myself now through my own free will, so be it. So let's do this one more time. I call upon the crystal angel of green chrysoprase, I might say that wrong, and ascended master Hilarion, who love me unconditionally. Thank you for the divine healing blessing of discernment. May I open my perception, detached and neutral, to discern the truth in all people, situations, and events. May I be blessed with the knowledge of what is true and what to do. My discernment brings me inner security, empowerment, and confidence to trust myself now through my own free will, so be it. One moment. Okay, so the next part here asks me to use the Mandala Oracle facing inwards at the back of my head. You could, because you don't have the card, hold your hand here, open palmed. And it does ask us again to connect with our breath. So you could take a really deep breath in and then breathe out. And while you're doing this, imagine yourself back at the inner temple, okay? And while we hold this here, we want to say out loud, I choose of my own free will through this and any lifetime and through all layers of my entire being to release any shame, fear, guilt, and doubt about my ability to discern truthfully or about the content of what I perceive and how I choose to express it. I forgive and release all involved in any such matters completely now. I ask for the healing grace required to fully awaken and experience my divine discernment now, so I may always feel what is true and what to do in accordance with divine wisdom. Through divine grace and unconditional love, so be it. This is really very good for helping us get rid of this shame, right? Get rid of these blocks. And our mind's very powerful, and the more we say these kinds of things and choose of our own free will, the better off our life is going to be, right? The firmer we stand on our own 2 feet. So if you want to help me in prayer right now, this part, if you don't want to repeat, just go ahead and listen. But please ask that your intentions are with this and that this is something that you would want to magnify into the world, okay? May divine love shine its truth through the discerning eye awakened within. May all beings see and know the truth, free from judgment or fear, so that love's will may effortlessly prevail upon the earth, according to divine compassion and in service to the great divine plan of love unfolding, so be it. Whew. And the last one, this affirmation you can say 3 times, and it's short. And it's something I think that you should definitely repeat to yourself. Maybe something to do in the mirror. Really work on this, okay? If there's times where, you're worrying about asking for what you want and being able to do that without an attachment, get in front of the mirror. Remind yourself this stuff, okay? It is natural for me to discern truth, and I trust in the clarity of my inner, intuitive, instinctual knowing. It is natural for me to discern truth, and I trust in the clarity of my inner, intuitive, instinctual knowing. It is natural for me to discern truth, and I trust in the clarity of my inner, intuitive, instinctual knowing. So it's getting pretty dark where I am, but what I want to just do is say to you, trust yourselves, trust your gut, go with what you know is true in your heart and ask for what you want, okay? Don't be afraid to do that. And before I close this out, I want to ask Archangel Gabriel to join us and guard and protect us as well as Archangel Michael for this portion. And I want to ask one message from the Archangel Gabriel Oracle on how we can just integrate this knowledge and a little bit of, because he is the messenger angel, just one message on asking for what we want. So there's one that was going to fall out. I'm going to ask for one more, please, Spirit. Thank you. So the first one that's come out, actually, the first one was Law of Attraction. Keep your thoughts positive and surround yourself with positive people and situations, and you will attract more positivity into your life. So going with asking for what we want, if we're able to be open and honest with others and ask for our needs and just even be open enough with ourselves to ask, or even ask ourselves, sorry, this is getting good, but ask ourselves what do we truly want and go for that. And that takes vulnerability with ourselves, vulnerability with other people to ask for what we want and, take that leap of faith into the unknown, even if it is a potential rejection for you. Just be free, okay? Don't let the fear get you. And in the first part of the video, if you haven't watched it yet, I do invite you to watch it. one of the things that it talks about is don't get yourself all set up for a situation that doesn't exist yet except for in your head, because then when we come to a point where we need to speak to another person or group of people, we've already set up expectations that may not be there, right? We don't assume things because that doesn't do so good for us, okay? So law of attraction, come to situations how you would want others to come to those situations as well. Vibrate positivity outwards so that you are bringing that in and manifesting that. Okay, there's there's 4 more detox time and media. Maybe it's time to really put your, funny enough, I'm on YouTube, but put your devices away. Get off the media. Stop watching stuff. Get to in center with your intuitive messages. You know, this is allowed to discern and trust those things. The media often is a giant cloud. But the cloud's not the word I'm looking for, but distraction for what's really happening in the world. And we've got the last 2 that fell out was express your inner truth and Mother Mary. Mercury is going into retrograde tomorrow, I believe, but we are in a shadow period and we've been there. Getting out of detoxing also is stuff that isn't serving us. This Mercury retrograde, really work on communication. Mercury is our planet that rules communication. If you are a Gemini, like myself, it's our ruling planet. So when it goes into retrograde, your electronics may mess up, just kind of know that. But it might not just be that stuff. This is really a time to look at things reflectively, but being open, okay, and expressing your inner truth to yourselves and others, and really truthfully asking for what you want with open and clear conversations and communication, okay? So I think that's what I have for you right now. Thank you so much for anyone who's watching. I truly hope that these help someone out there. I know it helps me. I definitely feel the energy. So when you are working through this, pay attention to where you feel your energy. Get a good night's sleep. Really integrate this. And if you need to repeat those mantras or whatever it is, however many times, bring it to a point where you can, with a calm voice, really even internalize that. And you know what? You don't have to convince yourself because you truly do believe it. Okay? You are all whole within yourselves and you are worthy of love and beautiful, beautiful souls. If you want to see more of this kind of stuff, feel free to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. But I hope that this resonated for some of you. Keep your thoughts pure, right? Kind of communication open, and our hearts kind of fall into line with that. Remember, law of attraction. Whatever we are emitting from here, you know, everywhere we're receiving that back. So level up your frequencies. Vibrate at a higher vibration than the bad stuff coming in. Okay, because it's kind of, okay, here's, before I leave, what I'm going to say is smoke. Smoke rises. What do they teach us? If there's a fire, get down low, okay? Well, that's the dense nastiness. We want to get above the dense nastiness. Rise. Rise, my friends. Anyway, I'm going to end it now, but you guys have a beautiful, beautiful day, and I will talk to you later. Bye, guys.